Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the First Spiritualist Church of Onset, Mass. We're grateful that you could join us this evening. Please continue to keep in touch with each other. And look to our website, which will be located in the bottom of this video, and so that you can see what we're doing in our church. We're trying to keep part of what we do and offer for the community going. So we're using Zoom now for classes and so forth. And we have some great upcoming classes that you can join. And Patricia Melman is going to do the astrology on the Mercury retrograde. I'll be doing the intenders, and we'll do feng shui, and we'll do the smudging and all kinds of things. So look to our website. Again, we're grateful that you can join us this evening, and we're grateful to having the opportunity to still stay connected. This service is dedicated to my lovely mother, Antonia Marie Ruggiano. She passed to the spirit side on April 17th, 2020. Little did we know last Sunday when we did the service that my mother would be passing. I'd like to honor her, and I'd like to thank everyone that sent their condolences and their cards and flowers or whatever you've done. It means so much to us, and we are grateful on behalf of my family and my mother's family also. Thank you. So as we open our church service, we ask Infinite Spirit to bless everyone that's watching, bless the world, help us and heal us at this time. Give us the strength and the courage that we need to move into our lives in a different form, in a different manner. Help us to accept the things that we cannot change and to change the things we can, and to know the difference of what we can. We ask this, Infinite, for everyone in the world. Bring kindness, peace, and tranquility as best we can to one another. Keep the communication going. And we ask this in the name of the Father. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Forgive us this day our daily bread, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. And now we'll have a nice reflection so that you can open up your mind and your thoughts to the information that's coming from Spirit through our worker today, Lisa, on her reflection. Thank you.
Good evening. This is the book, 365 Days of Angel Prayers. July 2nd. Your Heart's Voice by Lisa Clayton. Trust your inner voice that is connected to your heart. Can you hear it? Melt mind chatter and connect. Listen and learn to recognize and honor your heart voice. The logical world is crumbling and the spiritual world is expanding. Trust and have faith in the divine guidance we send to you each day, and flow into your heart's golden glow. Structure and rules from old ways are dissolving to the new structure, with flow of love living and giving in heart-centered communities. Nothing feels the same. Nothing is the same as the divine energetic waves. Transform your perceived reality to the new reality of living through loving all. Learn to listen to your heart's whispers. Remember, angels are always by your side, flooding your heart with love and golden light. Call upon us, ask us, trust and believe in us. We are all one. Unity is our mission. Fall in love with your heart's voice. Honor it. Believe in its intelligence. Be in alignment of your heart leading and your mind following. Angels' guidance will always lead you to your heart's voice. Thank you.
That was wonderful, Lisa. And this is the time to give yourself the moment to reflect and think about all these wonderful things that we can open our minds to. Now we'll go open with the Ho'oponopono prayer. And this prayer is a powerful prayer. If you just say these 4 phrases, I love you, please forgive me, I'm sorry, thank you, and say it in a mantra on a daily basis, It is amazing because it helps transform the world, transform situations in front of us. I never share anything that I haven't used and I haven't had results with. So I would suggest that you might want to look up this book called Zero Limits by Joe Vitale, and it will explain more onto you what this means. But if you'd like, you can follow with me on the Ho'oponopono prayer. Dear Infinite Mother, Father, God, I realize that I'm responsible for everything in my consciousness that is creating my reality. I am sorry. Please forgive me for the memories and patterns and imprints in my consciousness that no longer serve my highest good. And I forgive myself and I let go. I thank you for this opportunity to release what no longer serves me. I love you. Please forgive me for seeing it this way. I'm sorry for seeing the situation as it is. And I thank you for showing me what I need to clear. And now we'll open up to our prayer Tube of Light mantra. Saint Germain was a master teacher, and he had asked if we could be graced our karmic debt through using the violet flame. This is one of the prayers that is said, and you're welcome to say it along with us. Beloved, I am presence bright. Round me seal your tube of light. From ascended master's flame, call forth now in God's own name. Let it keep my temple free from all discord sent to me. I am calling forth the violet fire to blaze and transmute all desire, keeping on in freedom's name till I am one with the violet flame. And now we're going to do our declaration of principles, and you can follow along on the YouTube page. And as spiritualists, we do not have any creed or dogma, but we do have a declaration of principles that we try to implement in our lives on a daily basis, and you're welcome to engage in saying them with us. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity continue after the change called death. We affirm that the communication with the soul called dead is a fact scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individuals, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed to any soul here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing are divine attributes proven through mediumship. And this 10th principle was given to us by our prior pastors, the pastor of this church for 50 years. We believe that divine love is manifested through loving service to all life. And now we're about to enter into our healing part of our church service. This is where we would have normally our healers in front and do hands-on healing. And the prayer that we say before this is a very powerful prayer. Again, follow along. This is magnificent. When you say this prayer, if you're just sitting, visualize the world receiving this. We intend this prayer goes out to anyone that's watching this, everyone that's connected to you in the world, everyone on our healing book across the universe. So let's say this prayer together. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help, and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and the power of God. From your solar plexus, where your belly button is, pull it from there, through the nose, and hold it. 1, 2, 3, and release. Release all the stresses. Release your mind from the busyness that it has. Let the beautiful light just cascade in your mind, and let all thoughts just fade away. As your body starts to soften, and you allow feel the softening of your body, knowing only love is real. If there's nothing that you need to do now at all but be here now, let's take another nice deep breath through the nose, pulling from the solar plexus. 1, 2, 3, and release. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Releasing any discomfort in the body, in the mind, in the busyness of the mind. Allow yourself to know that you're in a sacred place of peace. And allow yourself again to take another nice deep breath in. Pulling and holding. 1, 2, 3, and now release anything that's keeping you from this moment. Allow yourself to be clearly present, for it is in the present moment is where we receive, and being present is so powerful for yourself and for others. So when the chaos is going around us and we hear all that we hear that is perhaps negative, if you stay in the alignment of peace and being present as Jesus did, as Master Jesus did as he walked this earth, you will find it much easier as the days ahead come to us. Find yourself in your vision in a beautiful bench in an area that has such beauty to it. This is where you can be creative yourself. What vision comes to you? See yourself in this beautiful bench in an area that brings such joy and beauty to you. And you are connected in this vision to the world. And as you're sitting there, you can send out the most powerful messages of love in your vision. And you can bring to it the beauty of color and sound. So as we're sitting in these beautiful benches, and you see yourself, close your eyes. In your vision, see above you in the beautiful sky, a beautiful ray of white light coming down from the many spheres above us in the beautiful clouds, coming down from the spiritual abodes of divine healing, from the angels, coming down and entering the very crown of your head, and your head fills with this beautiful light. And through your third eye comes out a beam of white light. And that white light penetrates out into the universe. See that vision of your third eye is between your brow, and the light goes out. But we will ask Spirit to bring all the higher vibration of color down into your crown and send it out through your third eye. The beautiful, beautiful vibration of blue energy goes out into the world. Beautiful red vibration goes out into the world. Beautiful yellow and beautiful green and beautiful orange and beautiful purple and violet and pink and turquoise and all the colors of orange are vibrating out into the world. Color has meaning and a vibration to it that aligns with each and every one of our chakras. So see these colors going out to the world. And as this is happening simultaneously, bring that white light that came through your crown into you and to your eyes, and see the white light going out into the universe so that you see the world anew and changed. And you can only see joy into the world. No despair, no fear, but joy. Now align that light back in to come down around your throat, where it funnels in your throat a white light and clears anything in the throat that is stuck, fear. Let it go. And have this beautiful white light line in front and back of your chest. And see your beautiful heart with a beautiful heart shape around it, purple for divine healing, and green inside. And see your heart molded into this beautiful vibration. And see 2 doors opening of your heart and a golden ray coming out. And see that coming out into the world. This is the love that you're capable of having for not only yourself but others. And the golden ray breaks down all unforgiveness towards others and self. And breaking down all walls to you, letting others in to love you and you loving others. See it, believe it, and know it to be true. And at that time, think about anyone and everyone that you have a hard time letting go of or forgiving. Take this time, thoughts or things, visualization. So allow this light to come down into your solar plexus, your inner organs, and as it does, lighting you up again and rejuvenating your sense of purpose, your sense of self-esteem, rejuvenating, restoring. And as the light continues down through your hip structure, down through your thighs, your knees, your calves and your shins, down through your ankles, and the light jets out your toes and trickles way down and deep down into the earth, reaching to the core of Mother Earth. Her light is strong, her roots are firm. She sees your lights and comes into your roots. And you start to feel strong as she enters into your roots all the way up, penetrating upwards to every layer, all the way up, further and further up, expediently entering into your toes. Her roots shine up, expediently up through your whole torso. Feel it. Feel yourself expanding like the mighty oak tree, with every limb expanding, every part of you expanding into the world, bringing your light and your love. We are strong, beyond measure. So as you send your light out, you send healing to everyone who is in need, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual need. You are a beacon, and we are all one. Send your love out and ask for the best and highest good for all concerned. And taking this time, you will make a difference in the world. Simply by this vision. And for those who want to come back to the present moment, bringing yourself back from that scenery as I count from 3 to 1. 3, seeing yourself on the bench. Now bringing yourself towards the present, where you are sitting or laying down in your own home or wherever you are. 2, start to feel your toes, your fingers. Know you're aware. And when you're ready, 1, simply awaken to the present moment. And we will continue with our church service for those who want to. God's blessing and healing goes out to all those in our church, everyone that belongs to them, everybody, all churches. We send healing to all souls, all organization, and especially to our government, to those that are making higher decisions, our doctors, our nurses, all souls that are helping under this duration and what's going on. We send out praise and prayers to each and every one of you. We uplift you, support you, and we support the world in its healing. God's blessings. And now we're having our lecture. And I would again like to offer this lecture to my beautiful mother, Antonia Ruggiano. Again, thanking everyone for your prayers. Little did I know that I'd be standing the next Sunday service and she'd be in the spirit side. But I'm more than excited to tell you that my mother has contacted myself and my other brother, who made a contract with my mother in a certain symbol that she would tell him when she was successfully on the other side, to let him know that she was with him. But before I even go there, I just want to touch base with what a powerful example that my mother was to not only her children, but everyone that knew her. And for those who have known my mother through the years, my mother and her sister, my aunt, would come to our church. They would come up for 3 months during the years as they evolved in their age. And it was several years that they would come up and visit me for the summer. Come up in June. My mother's birthday is June 4th. And they would come up and spend the months with me and then come to the church. And my mother was a strong believer. And both my mother and my grandmother came from the Catholic religion, and still to this day believe in it. They're in the spirit side. But they were open. They were open to believing that there was something beyond this physical world, as they believe in their Catholic belief. But we were told as Catholics that communicating with the spirit side was not something that was supposed to be done. But we know as spiritualists, and they were open to it, that the Bible was man-made, and we do have testimony and a lot of evidence in our Bible, which is from the Catholic Church also, of the communicating with spirit. So, and anybody that's interested in that we have it as your spiritualist churches can tell you that, and it's in our course classes, the evidence. But they were so brave to step out of the box, and I'll tell you why, because they had a mother in the spirit side, Ida Nicoli, who lived and breathed the Catholic religion and did pilgrimages to Italy, where Mother Mary appeared in St. Domenico. I think I said the name right. In Italy, it was a place where Mother Mary appeared, and if you went there in good faith, you would see a sign. Well, my grandmother had a sign. We had many pictures of infinite Mother Mary coming through. And so my grandmother was a very direct way shower to the religion. And she would go to churches maybe 3 times a day if she could. She lived near one. And she would preach about Jesus and forgiveness and everything, and would do the sign of the cross, everything. It was not abnormal to go by my grandmother's room and she'd be doing the rosary and praying for everybody and praying for her family. And so they grew up very, going to Sunday service and in all of the paradigms of the Catholic Church. So for them to step over and to be open to this was just divinely beautiful, because before they passed to the spirit side, they got to see transfiguration, table tipping. We table tipped on my mother's 91st birthday over at the Hollister House. And Bernie remembers that. Bernie was table tipping with us because we had a surprise party for her, and that kept us busy for that night. My mother would come to all the churches. She'd come to Temple Heights with me, and my Aunt Chloe too. So they really stepped on the other side, and that's a blessing, because my mother knew, that she could communicate with us on the other side too, here. So, but my mother was a real pioneer in her own way. She was very forgiving. She was in the Native American medicine wheel. She had, and I'm sorry, I'm thinking of this bird, a hummingbird. She had hummingbird medicine, and hummingbirds, what do? They bring nectar. They bring nectar. And my mother was that type of person. She would bring joy to everyone that she met. It was amazing. I never ever met anybody that didn't like my mother. And bringing the news of her passing has brought tears across the world to people that knew her. She just had this unbelievable capability of bringing joy to people and somehow meeting their needs without even really knowing them. And one of the things that I realized is that my mother was present most of the time. Because I would often think, how does my mother get everything accomplished? She was very organized. She also had mouse medicine, which is mentalizing things and being able to organize very well. And she knows that she had these medicines because she came to my classes that I gave and so forth, and we did her medicine wheel. So she was able to do all these. So you have to be present. So when you start something, you finish it. And that is key, isn't it? Be present at every moment that you're doing something. That is the lesson that she gave me, and which I thought it was always kind of great that I could do 10 things at one time. But in actuality, I now see that it's better to have taken each thing that I was doing and finishing that. And then you go to the next and the next. So having a system during this time is very important. So she comes through me to share that with you folks, is that you have a system that you follow. Because I found during this time, if I didn't wake up at a certain time and I didn't follow a regimen like I was at my actual work, my day wasn't as good. So keep your system, have a system. That's going to keep you more in balance. And that would be a message, okay? And also about being present to one another. To be present when somebody is in front of you. Try to be present when they're speaking to you, because we all need to be heard. I don't care who it is. We all need to be heard. We just want to be heard, and the gift would be understood too. And that's an important piece right now. We may have different views on things, but we can gently say to that person, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. It's important to say to somebody. Even though we may be different, we want to be heard and we want to be understood. And especially at this time, because we are more sequestered from each other, that when we have a chance to talk to one another in some form or way, it's important that we're all recognizing that we're each going through things, and it's important to give that person that time, especially now, because that will lessen people's stress. So that's a gift that my mother gave us. And another most important one also is to give without receiving. Just to give. Didn't matter if the person knew it came from her. It didn't matter any of that. If she met you and she listened to you and she knew you liked a certain something, she might give it to her daughter to give to you because she knows you like that. So giving, not to be noticed, but just to give, because your heart's wanting to do that, and that brings more joy to others. So she was a giver. And also what I've been hearing from folks that didn't know her that long is your mother, I felt, listened to me. She cared. So these are beautiful gifts that we can give each other. And again, it goes back to being present and caring. What's the most important thing right now? And that's what this is all teaching us right now. What is the most important thing in our lives? What really counts? For those who are on the treadmill of work, and not enough time with family, it's like, wow. Some people are saying, as much as some people are saying, I want to get back to things, there are people that are saying, oh no, I don't want to have to do this again. I don't want to have to get on that treadmill. So it's affording those people to realign and think about, even my organization is thinking about teaching Zoom today to some of our employees, said, well, we may continue to do this even after. So we're learning new vignettes and new ways, abilities to communicate. So hopefully, this will lessen the stress in our lives. Because we were on a banshee of fast pace. So the world, how has this come to bless us? How has this come to bless you? And I know there's people that are suffering, worried about my house, my mortgage, my food for my kids, all of this. It's a trusting time. There will be an opening and an avenue. How does somebody get out of this unshaved and another person doesn't? Now they're saying to us, our natural laws are about what we focus on. Okay, we will get back. Now, I would suggest listening to Bob Proctor, Mary Morrissey, and also Donna Egan. Okay, she's a healer. She will tell you how to physically stay fit without medications. I'm not saying you shouldn't take your medications as doctors say and everything else like that, don't get me wrong. But there are ways physically that we can help each other. These two people, Mary and also Tony Robbins, they all align pretty much together. And obviously, Esther Hicks, who channels Abraham. They're going to keep us on the right line. I can only give you what I utilize myself and what I know for myself to be true. So I would invite these practices for you to look at. Because, again, how does somebody make it through? How did they get there and how did the others not? And you would analyze it. They say thoughts are things and so forth. This can be a challenging time. It's just like when we all asked as women, like, is labor really that bad? And they said it was just discomforting. So it's kind of like how we look at everything. Perception, our perception of anything is key. It's how you perceive things. And what they're saying is the things that hit us hard are the best lessons. So find the golden nugget in this for yourself and for others. Reach out. Don't isolate. We are isolated, but I'm saying don't isolate. So find the avenue to communicate with people. Keep that communication going. All right? Because it's powerful. It's key. Watch what you're watching. And all those things are important right now. But I'd like to go back to my beautiful mother and some of the lessons that she taught. And I believe that she was definitely a forgiver. And that is a very important thing. Forgive and forget. And when you're using your spiritual higher knowing, that you know that only love is real, and that you know that we're all in different levels, and that people err, and to look at in your life. It's like in the Bible when Jesus, for those who cast the first stone that's never done anything wrong, we've all done something. So forgiveness is key. And remember, the door to reformation is never closed against any soul here or hereafter. So these are some of the things, not all of the things, that my mother brought to us. But she will be remembered in the physical form like no tomorrow. And the journey that we all have that know her, we'll try to make it and remember the best things that we had with my mother. And what is very powerful is to, when somebody passes that you love, is to take on something that they would do for others. The good things. The good things. And that's just a suggestion. So, just so that you know, and we're hoping to put up on the Facebook app with this connected to it, some of the pictures that my mother sent me, and also with my brother, the beautiful bird that, and I'll just share this and we'll end the lecture. When I was sitting in my car, what they allowed us to do, because I couldn't, my mother was in a nursing home at the time that she passed. And during that time, we were able to, because we couldn't get in, they wouldn't let us in, I was able to FaceTime my mother. I was able to tell her before her passing how much I loved her and how magnificent she was as a person and all, and that it was okay to go. That we would watch out for, a couple of brothers would watch out, my brother Bob and I, and we would stay together, all the things that a mother would want. And we were able to say that to her. Now, I was to FaceTime her the next day. I FaceTimed her at least maybe 3 times. And I was thinking it was going to set up another FaceTime. I had called them in the morning and I'd like to set up a FaceTime with my mother. And I was thinking, I'd love to have my daughter come in on the Facebook with me. So I called her and she was on her way over, and I come in the driveway and I stopped the car and the phone rang, and it was the nurse. It was the facility, and the nurse, I said, well, she said to me, she said, Kathleen, and I just had a feeling, she says, your mom passed. And I remember just sort of being shocked but not shocked. And she proceeded to tell me that how my brothers, they allowed us at the very end to come in. And I was able to tell my brother that. They didn't FaceTime. So they ended up going in, they're twins. So my mother waited for them. When they left, my mother passed. It's funny how those things happen. There's many stories about that. But when she was talking to me, I stared where my stairs are. There were stairs in front, and there's a small Cape Cod flowers here that was actually that flower was for my mother's 80th birthday, was there, and then behind it is a lilac bush that they're not in bloom yet. And there was a red female cardinal. So I knew it was my mom, because when my stepdad passed, he came as the red cardinal, and they were soulmates, my mother and Al. And he came to her. Now she was aware of that when she was in the nursing home. Okay, he would come to her, and a lot of family members came to her. So all that we're hearing is true. It came right from my mother's voice. So when I saw this red female cardinal, I said, oh my God, that's right at the spot time. So I finished the conversation with the nurse, and I just took pictures real quick, 4 in a place, like boom, 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 boom. Through the window of my car, I just saw a beautiful red card. I mean, it's not red. You're going to look at it and say, the female cardinals are kind of brown, just like an orange, okay? So when you look at this, look closely, okay? You're only going to see a little, you'll see it. It may take you a while, but you'll see it. So afterwards, I had taken pictures. Took the pictures and looked through my phone to see. I don't know how many hours afterwards. and I almost died. As spiritualists, we know what trumpets are, and we know what ectoplasm is. So, for those who don't know, this is a trumpet, but this is a large one. Okay? So the trumpets came in, say that's not there, out there. They came in ectoplasm, and they came from the ground. The ground, we had just were able to purchase land right near my property. And so from that property came these 4. You can look at them. They're the 4 trumpets, but they're ectoplasm. And the first picture you'll see, where you can't even see the bird, it's behind the bird. So it manifested itself through ectoplasm. Spirit uses ectoplasm to manifest itself. So she came up. The second picture, you kind of see the bird behind it, but the next 2 pictures, you'll see the ectoplasm going right back and away from the bird. So that was profound, profound. Now, I'll just tell you the last of it. My brother Bob, he was what an awesome son he was to my mom. He lived in California, he'd come out, and he just took good care of her. And he took a picture of this, he does photography too on the side, he's a beautiful photographer. He took a picture of a bluebird in California and framed it and put it at the end of her bed so she would know, and symbolic of thinking of him, her thinking, they're thinking of each other, that he's always with her. So they made a pact that when she does in fact go to the spirit side, that she would come as a bluebird to him. So my brother, who's not 100% believer in what we believe in this, that's okay. Well, now he's kind of. So he called me one night, or I was talking to him, asking how he was doing, rather, I would say that. And he said, pretty good. And he said, I got the bluebird. I said, really? He says, yeah, I was walking with the dog, and it's the usual time, there's a time difference, he'd call her in the evening, our time. He was walking with the dog, and it was the usual time that he would call my mother. He called her every night. And he was walking, and it was about that time, he looked at his watch, and there it was, the beautiful bluebird, just right in front of him. Okay? So he knew, for my brother to say that, and then it happened twice. That time and another time. So now my brother and I share something special about our religion and belief of the afterlife, and that they can communicate with us. So I'm hoping somehow this brings comfort. Don't give up on those people that don't believe in what we believe in. Don't give up if they're a certain religion. Keep being open to them. Keep on helping them to, prove the continuity of life. And so we're grateful for this time, and we're grateful for all your prayers that you sent out to my mother. And know, she's the type of person, just thinking of her, she'll send you something back beautiful. And so we're grateful to have had her for our mother for the length of time of 91 years on this earth plane. And so remember always, everybody says this, always be loving and kind to one another, and God's blessings. Thank you. So folks, for this segment of our church service, we have the proof of continuity of life through doing mediumship. So those who don't know that watch our church, this is the first time to watch our church service, this is where we might be different than other churches, that we prove the continuity of life through bringing in your loved ones. And so as the medium, I will be connecting to your loved ones, whoever's watching here. Now what I would suggest is we do our best to keep our mind, to keep out of the way, and just allow the Spirit to give us the information, feeling, sensing, so forth, or hearing, and we give it out to you. Now, if, for instance, if I feel somebody's 5'11" or something, and they were really 5'9", but everything matches, take it, because it can be off a little bit. So don't pivot it 100%, because I don't know anybody that gives 100%. There are people, I'm sure, but I personally don't know in mediumship. We do our best. So if you do find that you connect with any of these folks, be kind to just let us know. Put out a little message there. Oh, that was when we first did at least our three services, people were saying, well, that was my uncle, or this one was this, and this one was that. And what does it do? It just shows other people, okay, that, a vibration is powerful, and vibration goes out, and we can bring this. And our intent tonight is for whoever's watching this church service, that those loved ones in the spirit side will come out to you, okay? We'll pre-know what's going on, you're going to watch it, and the message will get out to you. And then you can also go back to the previous church services and go back and see if you missed some things too, okay? So before we do mediumship, we always, in the church service, is raise the vibration by playing upbeat music. So you can take this time to listen, take this time to dance, take this time to just chill, whatever you do. So we will play a song. Thank you. Okay, so just pay attention, and I'll do my best to bring in the spirit loved ones. I have a woman that is coming in vibration here. She would have been taller than me and very thin. She was very calm in her manner. I'm feeling a teacher with her, somebody that either had a teaching person. There's people that teach, and there's people that are real teachers. And I feel with her, I'm actually somebody that could give people advice. And she was very organized and authoritative. And one of the things that she's telling me that she really enjoyed actually traveling was part of what she really enjoyed doing. And I feel that she had a position that in her work field that would take her places, and I feel like she went, to many countries, as I'm seeing just flashing by here, many places that she went to in her lifetime. And I'm not feeling that she had her own children, and I feel that maybe she was single, but she was very much like an aunt to people and things like this. So I feel with her also that she was possibly at least 70 or under before she passed, in her 60s or 70s when she passed to the spirit side. And I feel also that she had many, I'm seeing her with a hospital gown here, and that it was something that I feel like it was either a cancer that entered her body, because I'm seeing this here, I'm weakening and so forth. I feel that the way that I see her, she had sort of a wave to her hair, maybe up to here, just like a little curl as I see her here, and on the thin side with her hair. And again, she appears and feels more taller to me. And I feel like the name, I get a couple initials here, and again, don't have to push it in place. It's the A and a R as I'm coming in here. So again, it could be somebody on the earth plane, or somebody connected to her own name, or so forth. So she comes in, and I feel there's just a lot of books around her, so she'd love to read also. I feel like she could even have done research, okay, and even produced a book. And that sounds, it could be a poems, it could be something. So as she comes in, I feel that she's wanting to bring a message to whoever this goes to, is that, at times like this, reading and expanding ourselves is important. And don't forget, you can pull upon some of the things that you know in yourself and in your life. You can pull upon these gifts that you have that can help you during this time. And I feel that she's coming in with lots of love. And she also is talking about, she's showing me there's messages through stones or things like that you've you felt and connected with her, and so, and it's also a parable to, like a shell, where the water comes in and out, and it kind of molds it and gets it softer and softer. So this is a time that we're learning through this, she says, and she's around you and about you, okay? So lots of love and blessings from her and from the spirit side. Okay, so I've got this gentleman, he's kind of bouncy, and he's kind of a good frame here, a solid good frame, and on the shorter side, and I've got darker here, a bit of dark, almost dark brown here, and little sparse on the top here. And I feel that, and when I come in, I'm feeling he would have had trouble breathing before he passed to the spirit side, because I'm feeling like I have a really hard time catching my breath here. I feel like he was somebody that was dance, music, he would love that. He's coming to me in actually a black suit with a long, the old tux there. He's coming in that way, and he's got the shoes, the polished shoes here. So he would have been somebody that would have loved to have gone to dance, weddings, and things like that. And I feel that, what a cool smile. I feel he's got round cheeks there as he's coming in, and I feel that he's kind of, again, loving to dance, and he would have fun and be great in parties and so forth like that. And I feel like really strongly, I feel like a father with him as he comes. I feel energy with him as a father and loving husband. And I feel that he would orchestrate different things. I feel like I'm going on sites. I feel like I'm going on sites to contracting, that he would do this as a business, or be there on sites where they do groundwork and things like this. I feel also that he was a family man, because I feel like I'm coming through the back door and then I'm home, so he loved being around the family, and he loved his home. And so I feel when he was here on the earth plane, he started to, what I'm feeling he's showing me, he'd have his favorite chair that he'd be in, but he was starting to, lose energy, and the energy of his body started to go fast. And he's coming in with knowledge that how we react to things, how we take life, and what we ingest in our bodies has a lot to do with how we're going to fare during our lifetime. And he realized that needed to be more in balance, and he would want to bring this to his sons the same. I feel like I have a daughter and 2 sons, and I would want them to know this, and that he's around and about, and you folks, and sends lots of love. And February would have been an important time, because I'm getting February. It's either his passing or some birthday. So know this. And he comes in with lots of love and lots of praise, and he's very proud of his family, and lots of love and blessings. As I step in here, I've got the name Kate. I'm feeling a Kate on the spirit side. And this, I feel with this woman, it's, I feel like it's actually Kate coming in. I feel she's on the younger side. I feel that she was very beautiful in her own way. I feel she comes in with a lot of energy, and she wants you to know that she loves you and is with you. And I feel like she's talking about Jack and the connection she has, and to watch the funny things, especially when he yaps, and there's nothing in the ear, but he goes to catch it. So I believe it's her coming in to play with this. Jack is an animal here. I feel it's. I feel also that she was. The smile that she had on her face was precious. It didn't matter how old she was. She has this little look to her with her cheeks and little, that gave such a radiance of charmness, or almost like, I want to say elfness, that she just knew inquisitively that she was up to something, or that she was special. And she wants you to remember that. She knows that now, and that you are too, and to move forward. And there's many new things that are opening, many more doors opening to your life, and the opportunities will keep coming, and you will receive the energy that you need. Okay, you'll go down the right track, and there's lots of love and blessings from her from the spirit side. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So I have a gentleman on the spirit side. He is showing me as somebody that did labor, because my hands are all greasy, and he had large hands here, and you'd expect to find me underneath the car. Okay, and I feel that this gentleman was actually a attractive gentleman. He would have had brown hair, full-headed hair when he was younger. I believe he might have passed when he was in his late, maybe early 60s, or in that time frame. I feel with him also that I had brown eyes, and I feel like work was a very important part of my life. And I feel like I have a lot in my chest area here. Feel it at one point. I'm feeling that I did smoke cigarettes, that I might have let go of them at some point. But I think I was very hard on my body, is what he's telling me. I was, no work and no play makes it harder, but when he played hard, and I think that's what he's saying, that maybe that kind of took him. And I feel like also that the air and the quality of air that was around him during his work time also. And I feel that he's showing me there would be at least I think there's at least four or five kids here. I'm thinking, I'm seeing. And I'm also aware that that he did a lot of work, but that maybe at his own home, a lot of things weren't always put together, and he feels bad about that. Like maybe, there things were leaking, or things that he needed to take time with to do, and he feels that he wished he could have done those things, or he wants to, those are things that he wished he'd done better. And he wants the family to know that. And he got caught up in his work, and he got caught up in other things. And he's just so grateful that he had such a loving family, and wants everyone to know that he loves and is watching out for everybody and is always there. And know that the place where he used to park is, he'll always be there in one form or another. And he sends lots of love and blessings from the spirit side. And I'm feeling I'm going to let those messages go. And I'm grateful for this time together. And thank you for viewing us. And please look to our website, because we will have the next workshop that's coming up is the Intenders Group. And this is where we learn to manifest and what blocks us. And then the next great one, actually, no, I'm sorry. The next one that comes up is Mercury in retrograde with Patricia Melman. So that's going to be fantastic. What happens in Mercury in retrograde? What does it mean? And then we'll have the Intenders, and then we'll have other several ones, and maybe even packages that you can come in and be part of. So lots of love and blessings. Stay safe and stay positive. God's blessings.